Good morning, Southwest Meat Association. My name's Rick Kimbrell, CEO of Start Clean Legacy, LLC. We provide contract cleaning services, detergents, and sanitizers to dozens of SMA members. I'd like to take a moment to thank our team, 400 strong here in the Southwest. For the last 6 months, they've been working harder than ever, just like the men and women in your plants. Without them, we wouldn't be able to serve the food industry. Our team, like yours, has continued to keep grocery store shelves full and stocked, and we're proud of that. Start Clean's honored to be the sponsor of the 64th Annual SMA Convention. I'm so glad we were able to at least meet in this format. The last time I missed an SMA convention was in 1987, the Orlando convention, when my father, Ray Kimbrell, he either couldn't or wouldn't fork over the money to take us to Florida. I'm thankful that my roots and our Start Clean family roots go back with SMA about as long as this old classic's been on the road. This is the best job I've ever had. Every day we get to build the culture and have the opportunity to create the best job that you've ever had for so many people, helping build careers that coexist with a healthy work-life balance. To do this, we've created the Start Clean Wins Leadership Training Program. This program is mentoring and training all of our existing and future sanitation managers, coaching them to be prepared, consistent, confident, and to follow through as they help manage your food safety. If you see someone walking through your plant with one of these on, stop and encourage them. Again, Start Clean commends all SMA members for their role in putting safe food on the table. The food industry will always be essential. We're proud to be a part of it. I know you are too. Work hard.
All right, next up is David Blair with Transparent Energy. I've known David for about 10 years, and he's helped our companies lower our cost of energy and the risk that's taken. So after I've seen what Transparent Energy and Dave has done for me, I wanted to share that with all the SMA members. So the SMA has signed an agreement with Dave and his company to help our members and help the SMA Foundation. A portion of their profits will go to the foundation to help fund the scholarships that SMA gives every year. Dave, please share your screen and take it away.
Okay, good to be with you this morning. Our firm uses a different program, so I'm kind of making sure everything is coming in loud and clear. You can see and hear me okay? Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm going to share my screen in just one second, but first and foremost, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak. This strategic partnership that we've been able to develop has already been able to bear fruit. It's been exciting to work with your organization through some of these challenges during the pandemic, so I appreciate it. I want to thank Jason Beyer, longtime client, Joe Harris, Phyllis Zimmerman, who works behind the scenes doing many things to set something like this up, Steve Watson, who's been helping with the technical side, and then of course our great sponsors, executive members, and members. So it's a pleasure to be with you. I'll go ahead and share my screen. One second here. Okay, sorry about that. Everybody can see what I've got here? Okay, yeah. So as I mentioned, we were engaged for this strategic partnership, mostly for what we do. I'll give just a very brief bio on myself. Again, my name's David Blair. I'm the Vice President of New Business Development at Transparent Energy. Our headquarters, our Texas headquarters is based in downtown Fort Worth. We're an energy advisory and technology company. So I know a lot of you around the nation, especially Texas, probably aren't hurting for the 1,000 calls you get from brokers, consultants, suppliers about who's got the best deal and what the best rates are and everything. So that's not really what we do. We own our own proprietary software. So essentially we're an agnostic vehicle for you to ensure that your load volumes, the energy that you're using at your plants, go through what I call the funnel of accountability through a reverse auction process. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how that works. So it takes the the human element and the guessing game out of it, and it's strictly it's a brutal process. So if you like capitalism, I think you'll enjoy hearing about our process. But at the end of the day, we are a process and technology firm. We have this reverse auction platform, and what we can do for SMA members is we can ensure that in these trying times during the pandemic, that you really can see the wholesale to retail trade of energy, and and you can prove in an audit situation or discussions with your CFOs, your financial people, that you really did find the lowest trading price of energy available in the deregulated market. And what our process does habitually is it will save at least 7 to 8% more than any other paper-based RFP process, broker-led process, if you're doing it in-house. And that's what we've been able to do with Jason and several other members. So again, I'm right here in Aledo, Texas. I'm working in my home. My wife is operating her own company out of the house, and we've got an 18-year-old going to college and a golden retriever. So I closed the door. I hope there are no interruptions, but anyway, here we go. So this is just a brief client list. We've got a robust global book of clients ranging from real estate to manufacturing, the grocery store chains. One of the most recent notable projects we've undertaken is with the Trump organization. Regardless of, I'm going to get into politics and everything, but that's been an interesting project we've worked on lately. So you can certainly look us up, our background, our different clients. These are a few that are comfortable with sharing their company name. So just a very, very brief intro here. For those of you that don't know, this is a map of deregulated energy in the United States and Canada. I know that although it's called the Southwest Association, there are different facilities all over the nation. Myself, my family, the Blair family, we come originally from, when they came over from Scotland, they settled a farm in northern Iowa, and so we've been able to buy up more farms and help farmers in both in the cattle and the swine industry. So I don't know nearly as much as some of you do on the call, but I can empathize with some of the challenges that have taken place during the pandemic. But as the crow flies, this is a map of deregulation. Some states are deregulated for electrical commodities, meaning that you can actually go into an open market, interview, survey, look at different pricing, different energy strategies. Some of those states, as you can see color coded, are only for electricity. Some of them are for both electricity and natural gas. And then some states are heavily regulated, wherein whatever the utility is offering, however they hedge their products and their energy, that's what you get. There really is no choice. So one of the things I want to touch on for SMA members, especially during the pandemic, and what we're seeing is that across the board in the United States, as some of you know, the main driver of the settlement cost of electricity is the performance of natural gas. Many of us thought, looking at the data, that we were really at the bottom at all-time lows, but due to the pandemic, as you can imagine, it's just simple economics of supply and demand. We are seeing historical lows for natural gas rates across the nation. It's just an insane time to be in this business. We've seen prices that we've really not seen since the whole idea and the concept of deregulation began. So what does that mean? What does that mean for you as SMA members? That means that right now, regardless of whether you have another year, 2 years, 3 years left on your commitment with your electricity or natural gas, that the safety, at least for now, is in the futures market. The prices are extremely low. And so a lot of people aren't talked to that way. They don't know. In many cases, what we've been seeing, not only with your organization, but others, is that people have a stock plan, they have a tax plan, they've got a 5-year plan for everything, and they see the dollars connected to it. This is a dollar value commodity. And for whatever reason, folks tend to treat this more as a routine janitorial type contract, as opposed to planning for the future and looking where the futures market is. So the thing that we do is we're going to advise you on when to go to market and why. And this is just one example. This will show you what we're looking at. However, with the pandemic and the glut of gas, some of these groups that actually go and get this out of the ground are starting to go out of business. Some of them are offline and have stopped production. this is the data right here. Do we really know exactly what's going to happen? No, but the data says that right now, as you can see in those highlighted in green, natural gas, the main driver of the cost of electricity in the United States, is currently at historic lows. However, most speculators, analysts, all the data we're looking at, natural gas, the honeymoon of this cheap natural gas and thus cheap electricity, is coming to an end. Natural gas prices are expected to skyrocket. So procuring now is highly, highly recommended. Again, if you think, oh, I still have 2 years left on my contract, whatnot, as soon as this summer gets even hotter than it is, and I'm here in Texas, it's 103 in the shade. As soon as this gets warmer, the main factor, I suppose, to say that will change the overall averages and pricing of natural gas and thus electricity is weather. And as this hot summer continues to heat up, not only down here in the south, but up in the northeast and elsewhere, these averages slowly and surely, just like a frog in a pot of boiling water, they're going to come up. You don't feel it daily, weekly, but pretty soon those low electricity rates that you want 1, 2, and 3 years out, they're gone. And so that's a word of the wise. And I know that now where dollars are as precious as ever, and with the uncertainty of the election coming up, things like that, this is one of the most painless ways to ensure a surplus, budget certainty, and to reduce risk in your budget. I won't read through every detail of this slide, but this basically shows the forecast of natural gas supply leading into later of 2020 and 21. So it's simple supply and demand. Rig counts are down. There are issues with LNG. I mean, I could go on and on. I don't have a lot of time, but basically what I'm getting at is we are expected to see natural gas climb in the future, and so these low rates that we've been able to take advantage of will slowly be dissolving. This is a recent case study. As Jason mentioned, I've been able to do things with his plant through a fire and all kind. He could tell you we had all kinds of I won't call them issues, we'll call them challenges and opportunities, but we've kind of been there and done that, seen it all. This is a recent case study for an SMA member that reached out to us. They had a contract that was expiring in 3 weeks. They had an incumbent sending them pricing that looked great. So we kind of listened to what their needs were, what their challenges were, and they agreed to engage with us and go through our process. And we were. They had typically internally had a mandate where they would only do 1-year deals at a time. In Texas in particular, the safety for right now in the near term is in that futures market before those natural gas numbers climb that we just looked at. So they actually ended up, we got 11 participating suppliers on our platform, 83 unique bids, and as opposed to the 1 or 2 year deals that they've been doing, they saw, because the data said so, not because I said so, that a 60-month fixed contract made sense for them. So this is one example. Their legal wouldn't allow them to put the name on here, but this is an actual example of one of the last projects that we procured for SMA. Transparent Energy, more than anything, is here to help manage risk for all SMA members per their energy needs during the pandemic and beyond. The fact is, the data says that if you're not using this platform, we're the global leader as far as energy procurement processes, and our cloud-based software is currently leading. We've probably got about 5 to 7 years before another firm finds out what we're doing or figures out our processing technology. But as of now, it will save at the very least 7 to 8% more than any other process. How do we do that? We're going to make sure that we're taking SMA members to market at the right time. We're not just going to tell you, we're going to show you with metric-backed data on when the right time to go to market is. We're going to increase the supplier pools that are bidding for your business. If you've been going through a broker, some of them are great, they do a great job. However, we're going to increase that supplier pool bidding for your load volumes by typically between 200 to 300%. It's pretty compelling. The other factor, those two items I listed are about 2 to 2.5%. Another 2% of that 7 to 8 is going to be the actual margin compression that you'll experience day of our auction. If you think about it, these suppliers are our customers too. They know that we award contracts day of auction. All the work is done beforehand. When we do that, we see, especially during this pandemic, we really never know what these suppliers are doing or internally. It's like a chess game to try to win one of our events. But what we've been seeing lately is historically low pricing bidding in these auctions. it's kind of a guessing game, but we think there are open positions with some of these suppliers. Some of these larger energy users maybe have unfortunately gone out of business or shut down their plants, say steel mills, whatnot, and they've got that open position on their books, and so they have to send in amazingly low pricing just to break even, and that's what our process allows basically to be seen by the buyer, if you will. The final piece of the 7-8% is that most SMA members I've talked to don't actually know this, but when you go out to bid through a standard what we call a paper-based RFP process, or you're calling a few suppliers, they're always including a 2 to 3% futures premium on any price you see, no matter if it's the lowest price you've ever seen. There's still a little fat left in that product. Why? The reason is because they never know when a contract is going to award, because there's in essence, no process, no data signed. And so they have to assume the market's going to go up. So therein, because of the way our processing technology is set up for you to enroll you in these auctions, it's going to shed an additional 2.5% to 3% of total contract value, which for large energy users is significant. So for those reasons, that's exactly how, by external audit, we will save at least 7-8% more than any other process. And in many cases, it could be 10, 15, 20%. We never know until we see load volumes. But the market data for SMA members, just so you know, says that you should be going to market now, even if you have several years left. Year, 2 years, 3 years. I still am very interested to assist where I can, answer questions, do a full review of the portfolio. The SMA has been good enough to take care of the engagement, and so there are no fees, no risk. We'll do this, no obligation at all. We'll review this for you on behalf of the SMA. And if it makes sense for your budget and your operation to find money where there wasn't none before, we're going to help you do it. We're going to help you make sure you have budget certainty, and we're going to help you reduce risk, not just 1 or 2 months before your contract's out, but 2, 3, 4, and 5 years out, regardless of the market. So I tried to be as brief as I could. This is my contact information. I'm right here just west of Fort Worth, and good Lord willing, can go back into the office soon. They're having us all work remotely now, but that's my cell number, my email. And a final note here before we break for any questions. I want to offer my sincere thoughts and prayers to each of you, your families, and your businesses. It's been an insane time for our country right now, so I really hope that regardless of what happens with the election and moving forward, that you find health and prosperity. Let's just get through 2020, and let's hope that 2021 looks a lot different.
David, y'all got any questions, put them in Q&A. And David, one thing you didn't mention, if you hold one of these auctions for a member and he doesn't like the price that's offered, he doesn't have to sign the dotted line.
No, and again, we don't. I wish I knew what was going to happen in the market for certain. I don't. So I think some of the red flags out there are people that call SMA members or any business owner and they tell you what's going to happen in the market. That person probably, if they really do know, would be on a yacht somewhere and probably not having that conversation. We don't know. I'll be the first to tell you. So brokers don't talk like that. If I don't know the answer to the question, I'm going to get with guys at our firm that are smarter than me. We'll dig deep into the data, but we are strictly market-based and data-based. So you're quite right. We don't require any legally binding contracts. We're simply a vehicle to get you to the auction. If for some reason, the way the process works is we're going to have a pre-auction call review. It's a review call about 1 week before we go to auction. We're going to review all the terms and conditions. We're going to review whatever it is the customer wanted. You can request any term, any product, what have you. It all goes into the system. The system will reject it if it's not. It can't be 99% or 99.9%. It has to be perfect. It has to be apples to apples and exact. And then if and only if what we feel and what we've been seeing in other similar sized auctions, we run hundreds of these every week all across all markets. If and only if those metrics are compelling, then we will take you to auction. If there are still questions, if you're still on the fence, number one, something's wrong. I haven't done my job correctly, but we're gonna tap the brakes. We're gonna take another look at it. But we won't take you to auction if it's not compelling. If it is, if and only if we meet or exceed what we've shown you in the pre-auction call, then we're just in good faith hoping that you'll award. But there's never an obligation. We could run an auction, save a plant $500,000, do exactly what we said we could do. But if the owner is so inclined, he can get up and leave the table. Now, hopefully that doesn't happen. That really doesn't. 99%, 98.7% of our deals award day of, because this process is so effective. And we're happy to help, happy to offer it to members.
All right, Dave, I don't see any questions here. I think you guys reach out. It don't cost nothing, and he'll do you a good job if you don't call him.
Thank you, David. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Welcome to my office here at ABF Packing. I'm Jason Byer, and I wanted to share with you our newly renovated facility and some of our great team members. I'm so thankful for all of our team members for their commitment to animal handling, food safety, customer service, and their hard work.
ABF is committed to producing the safest and highest quality products for our customers.
We are committed to continuous improvement of our facility
in our food safety and quality programs.
We will achieve this through teamwork and respect for all of our team members.
ABF Packing has been a member of the SMA since 1996, and I want to give a big thank you to all the members that have helped us grow for the last 23 years. I don't care if you're a new member or an old member, ABF would love to do business with you, so just give us a ring.